Hey guys, it's Byron back with another 9 to 5 wholesaler show. And in this show, we got a special one coming here for you. We got a guy that's killing in the trucking industry, then stepped over into wholesaling and landed his first deal. This guy, me and him go way back. Um, he was at a meetup before I even ever did a deal, talking to this guy about wholesaling during COVID, doing Zoom meetings. Just this guy was hungry, man. So we go way back, man. He been rocking with me for a long time, and he finally decided to step up, get serious about this wholesaling thing. And man, he went out there and snagged the one. And I'm bringing him on to, let y'all see, how he got it done. So, but man, if you're new to the show, I'm Byron Scott. I used to be a teacher. I stopped teaching through wholesaling. I wholesaled for 2 years, able to stop my 9 to 5. And now I'm on a mission to help 100 people with a 9 to 5, begin to live life on their own terms. So if you identify with what I'm doing and the avenue that I'm doing it through, which is real estate, then subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video so we can help other people do the same thing. But with no further ado, we bring it on my guy, Ty. As some of y'all cash flow Ty.
Yeah.
Right. So man, how it been, man? How you feeling over there?
And it's going good, man. I appreciate you having me on here. It's an honor.
Yeah, man. So shoot, man, how's it been since officially becoming like a legit wholesaler?
Oh man, it's the best feeling. It's probably one of the best feels I ever got before, because this is the first time I've actually made some money that like I kind of like went out like it, I kind of went out and hunted and got it myself instead of someone actually feeding it to me. So it's a different kind of feeling. Gave me that confirmation that I always know how to go earn some kind of way. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what's
man.
up, man. That's what's up. So tell us about what you do. Like, tell us about what you was doing before you ever got into real estate. How did you get into real estate in general?
Well, I've been trucking for the last I think 12 years. So I've been trucking for the last 12 years. I got into trucking and I've been doing that. And I've always wanted to get into real estate. But what took me so long to get into real estate was because when I had moved here to Atlanta, I was listening to Dave Ramsey, and Dave Ramsey was always about like, paying cash for everything. So
Yeah.
what we did was we had got like we had, paid off all our debts except for the house. And we was on our way to start to pay the house off. And I was like, so I can pay the house off and then I could finally buy my first rental. But then like I found bigger pockets, and then it's like once I started learning stuff in bigger pockets, I stopped listening to Dave Ramsey, and everything been up ever since. So you know what I'm saying? So that's been what it been. So
Yeah,
that's
that's what's up, man. So you was trucking, you was making good money, you was paying stuff off, and then you found bigger pockets. And
yep.
that was the same thing for me too. I found bigger pockets, man. You haven't been over there big pockets when you get over there. I learned a whole lot from bigger pockets. So when you started watching bigger pockets, how long it took you to actually do a deal? Because it took me 8 years of
It
watching bigger pockets. Listen,
for
how long it
watching
took?
bigger. I started watching bigger pockets around I think. So I started listening to Dave Ramsey from 2008 to 2018. So then
Yeah,
2018 I started listening to bigger pockets, and from 2018 it took me 2 years from there to buy my first property, like my first rental, whatever. So 2 years from that point. So that's kind of how I went from that transition. But yeah, cause yeah, 2000, yeah, so 2 years. But I studied from 2008 to 18 to 2020, like 2 years straight, learning how to analyze deals, learning how to do all that stuff. And I was always, and, I was all, you go on Zillow and you try to like see a deal that you might want to buy, and you like actually like break it down and write down like how you would buy it and how much you pay for it. And I was doing that, and I was driving by property, but I was never really like doing anything. I wasn't putting in no offers. I was kind of like kicking the can down the street, tire kicking and stuff. So
yeah, um, yeah, man. Well, you better than me, man. You said it took you 2 years, and it took me 8. I was so hesitant, to get started wholesaling or doing anything in real estate, really, man. But man, what was your first real estate deal? Like, tell me about your first real estate deal.
first real estate deal, talking about like the one I actually, the first deal I did, it was when the recession. It was like right when the recession, not recession, but the what's this new thing, whatever's going on, this what you call it thing hits. The stuff that's going on now, right when they hit, because I know sometimes you can't say
Your very first real estate deal, not wholesaling.
right.
I'm
That's what I'm
talking
talking. That's what I'm
your
talking
first
about. Yeah,
deal ever.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Whenever the thing that we're going through now, when it first hit back in 2020,
Yeah,
that's when I was thinking if I don't buy a deal now, I'm never gonna buy a deal.
yeah,
So at that time, I was like, forget it. I'm all in. I was already looking at a property, and I haven't been looking at this property since January. So here it is, March, and like it was still on the market. It was having title issues, and
yeah,
people didn't want whoever was trying to get it before me. They didn't want to wait on the title issue. And I told the realtor, I'm like, look, if that tire come back clean. If the tire can come back clean in like 2 weeks or whatever, he told me to be done. You'll be ready in 2 weeks. I was like, I can buy the house, I can pay cash for it, and I can close next week. I'll close with it as soon as possible. It was in Augusta.
all right, so property in Augusta. And how did you even see this property?
I had saw it on the MLS. I had found it on the MLS. Like I was,
Okay.
what I
Found the
used to
property.
do, yeah, what I used to do is go on MLS and I would like just write down a bunch of properties in whatever area I'm targeting. And then me and my wife would get in the car and we would like go down there and start going around trying to learn the area, learn the neighborhoods, like just comparing properties. So it was one of the ones on the list. And we just came right back to it and it was still there. So I was like, and it was pretty good solid property. And I was like, gotta be a catch to it because this property is this price and the price and it's the house across the street is much smaller and it's almost 1 times as much as this house. So I was like, I don't know, something's going
How much
on.
was it listed for?
The house was listed for 30. I think it was listed. I think my man listed for 40, 48. I meant 40, and I got it for 38.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and the house across the street was like 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like the house I got was 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,800 square feet. The house across the street was like 3 bedroom, 1 bath, like 1,100 square feet. So I was
Yeah.
kind of like comparing, well, this one's going for 50. Somebody got it under contract. So I was thinking, well, somebody's buying in this neighborhood for 60. I should be able to buy here for 38 and be okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just took the risk. So
So you end up buying that one and you end up holding it.
yeah, I held it. Yep, I buried that property. Yep.
You bought a whole house. So that was your first introduction is just having a rental property. I did the same thing. Like I bought a triplex, I guess around the same time. I bought that triplex in 2019, actually. So I
Oh,
bought a
okay.
triplex in 2019. I held that bug. But shoot, man. So you bought a rental. Did you buy more rentals?
Yeah, I bought. Since then, I bought three more.
So
Well, altogether, so altogether, yeah, about two more after that. So it's three altogether.
so you got 3 units.
Yes. hmm
Yeah. So um, but yeah, man. So you bought 3 units. You still trucking.
Still trucking. Yep. Still
Yeah.
trucking.
So you're trucking. You got rental units, and now you start looking at wholesaling. Like, what made you start looking at wholesaling?
I felt like I was maybe started looking at wholesaling. I felt like I was paying. I was buying all my property off the MLS, and I was thinking if I can learn how to start buying off market deals, but that's all I wanted to get into this for was like learning how to buy off market deals so that I can if I get better deals. But I remember I think I ran across like one of your videos. Like I remember on the video I had seen before I started running across the videos when you start talking about like the 100, the 100, the 100. It was like I just remember you had doing the I think it was you did the 70 deal and you did like a 30 deal I think or
Yeah,
30 is it was like something like 70. It's like 40 and 30 or something like that. And I remember so that was had probably been like a year and a half. And I came
yeah,
back and I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like so. I just started going back looking at all your videos from the first one to like all the way to like now, and then from that point I was sold in because I personally knew you, so it's not like when you see these guys on the internet and it's like they say they do this do that, you be like did they really do that? But by me knowing you, I know you're not like no capper. I'm like he said it, I know it's real. So from that point
yeah.
I was like this I'm
And
gonna try it out. You know what I'm saying?
like how we meet up.
You said how we had met up to my through the what you mean to my the I didn't hear you.
Now,
The phone
tell
had.
people how you knew me.
I knew you from us. We had did a well, if I met, from bigger pockets. They went from bigger pockets to us doing a meetup at the Starbucks. The first time came out to Starbucks, it was us, a group of other people. We started
Yeah,
doing like a bigger pocket meetup here in our area, and then from there, you know, you know, C19 hit, and then we had to start doing them over Zoom.
Yeah.
So all the Zooms, we started doing the Zooms, and then from that point, everybody kind of just lost touch. Everybody think you went off the whole. I remember you. That's when you came. That's because you was delivering pizzas at the time, and you
Yeah.
said that you was like getting ready to start wholesaling. I remember this now, and from that point, I forgot what the other people did. I don't remember what happened to them, but then like that's kind of how it happened, and after that, you just took off from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember that was like that was like summer 2020, or
Yeah.
like right to get ready to be summer 2020 or something like that.
Yeah. Me and Ty go way back,
Yeah,
man. At least in our real estate journey.
yeah,
So, but man, so you was like so you buying rentals, so you thinking, man, if I could find off market properties just to buy myself, that'd be cool, right?
right,
But
right.
now you done turned that to not finding for yourself, but finding for other people and
Right.
doing deals.
Right. Actually turned into like a just like you just turned into like a real business. Like that's what my mind is at, like wanting to turn this into an actual real business they can run on its own. That's where my mind is at with that.
Gotcha. So, what was your first move in trying to get your first deal?
Um the first move, trying to further, well, the first thing we did, like I said, the first thing we did was outside of like looking at all the videos and getting all the information, I hired a VA. That's the first thing I did. A cold caller. We hired a cold caller. And that was the first thing. I did that like right after we did the last meet, well, not the meetup before last one we did back in was it May? You did it at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Last time we
So,
was at Starbucks.
behind that, like, why did you think to go get a cold caller? Were you cold calling before this, or you just
No,
went?
I never did any cold calling. Well, the main thing is I didn't do any cold calling. I didn't like when I didn't have the time, and I just felt like it was one of those things where I felt like it'd be better for somebody else to do that kind of work, train them on what to say, what to do that kind of work, and that give me more time to do other things. So we got a cold caller first, and then after
So,
getting,
what did you train them though?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Like,
We
what
just
did you use to train them?
talking about like far as
How did you know what to train? Like,
oh
how did you tell them to do?
oh, when watching videos, watching your videos, and watching like the questions you ask, like you get them to like ask the question whether they want to sell or not. You use the format of that, but they're trying to qualify this person, asking them four important questions like the condition, the price, when they want to sell, and all that stuff. So we ask those four questions, and once that gets set up, once it gets confirmed and it can become a lead, now we show her how to like send that from there to the Podio. So my wife gets the Podio. My wife would get the Podio alert, and then from the Podio alert, she'll call because she's in acquisition. So she'll call and she'll like try to lock it in or try to figure out, if that person really wants to sell and what they really want to sell for. And then if that works from there, it gets sent to me to go find a buyer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, where did you find a VA?
Uh, the online jobs PH.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah,
Online
yeah.
jobs.ph.
That online jobs dot PH. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Go there and find VA onlinejobs.ph. So you went onlinejobs.ph, got a VA.
Yeah.
How did you what software were you using cold call?
Cold call using call tools.
Call tools.
Yeah,
So
call tools. Yep.
onlinejobs.ph, call tools to cold call. And then it was bringing in leads. You using Podio. Podio is free, right?
Yeah, it's free. Yep.
So Podio free. Bring them in. Y'all calling them back. And where were you? What area were you targeting?
I was targeting like the South Carolina area, a lot of area like the area where I'm from, like the upstate area. I target some of the South Carolina area, just because I'm from the area and I knew that area. So I was
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna start there because I know, like, how you were saying before about like those cities. So you have like Atlanta, but you want to do those areas that's outside of Atlanta. So what I did was I did the upstate area and did those areas on the outside of the upstate. And
yeah.
yeah, so
I always recommend people go to the area that they know because that's a little bit of a competitive advantage. It's like that area, what people want to be, don't want to be, what's hot, what's not really hot.
right,
You kind of have a good grips on what's going on. So
right,
I always recommend that when you can.
yeah.
So, but man, so you got your target area, you got your marketing strategy, what you're gonna do. You start marketing, and when did you start all this?
Tomorrow started like as far as like getting like all the stuff together. It was like I said.
Like hiring the VA, getting call tools, all
Well,
that.
soon as like so around May, middle of May, that's when like we hired the VA, got the call tools, and then the next week I also got the launch control. So we did right after our last meetup, we did. Cause I wanted to make sure, I wanted to ask you to make sure when I saw you, I wanted to make sure that's what you were still using. Cause I wanted to be able to like call somebody like, hey, how you use this, how you use that. So when I saw you last at the one we did at the Starbucks, that's what we did. As soon as that, we hired a VA first, and then after that, maybe a week or two after that, we got the launch control. And my wife, she currently does the texting on launch control. So that's kind of like that's where the first lead came from.
So you're calling people and you doing launch control.
Right.
So calling and texting people.
Calling and texting. Yeah, that's how we're marketing right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how many people were you calling and texting to get a deal?
I don't. I think she's texting. I don't think she's texting like 600 a day. I believe. I think so. I think she's doing like 600 a day that she's text, but I'm not sure exactly how many she actually did to get that first lead. And then the calls, I think if I remember right, I'm thinking we're calling. I think they're dialing like 400 and contacting like 80 people or something like that. So like
Oh,
dialing, doing like 400 dials and like contacting like 80, at least 80 people a day. Is how many she's actually contacting. So we're doing it like that. So, yeah.
That's not that bad, man.
Yeah.
So you started in May, this past May.
Yeah, this past May, right? Mm-hmm.
You get your first property on the, like, when did you get the property under contract for your first deal?
We got a property under contract for first deal probably like May 30th, like right after Memorial, like right after my Memorial. It was quick.
You ended up getting the property under contract in May.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And how much did you spend to get there?
I would say maybe all together with the tools and all that stuff, because what you call it's like $300-400, and then so I'm thinking we probably spent about $500 all together for that month, maybe.
So
maybe 500.
Together was like $500. How much you paid for like the skip tracing of those lists?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about all together at the time before, like I think with the software, because the software was like 3, and then we're paying the VA, and then with skill tracing, all together, I would say we didn't spend $1,000. I would say like $600-700 all together before we got the actual one under contract.
All right, so 700. Let's say you spent $700 to put all this together, right?
Right.
So you spent $700 to put all this together. You learn all this stuff that you did from YouTube, and you put it in action. And it took you probably less than 30 days to get the property under contract.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so tell us about the property. Like, where was that? How much you get in the contract for, all that good stuff.
Okay, so the property was in this place called Fountain Inn, South Carolina, which is in Greenville County. The property, we had got it under contract for $150. It was on Zillow. So when you pull it up on Zillow, it was on Zillow for like $265 or something like that. We got under contract for $150. So the property was in good condition. It was in, as far as compared to the properties that I'm used to buying myself. When I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like, people gonna love this one, especially if it was a good area too. I'm assuming that I think the landlord he was a tired landlord with this one property because he had other properties, and I think he just didn't want to go back and refix it. So we got him to like agree to 150, and then from there I just went and start marketing, trying to find a buyer. It was like 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and I think it was like 1,100 square feet.
Yeah.
And it needed some. It probably needed some TLC, like some painting. Floors in the kitchen need to be the subflooring in the kitchen need to be redone, and that's pretty much the major thing. I think I would say it's probably like $25,000 worth of rehab that need to be done to that. That's the good thing about I had a background of knowing what needs to be done. Kind of made it easier to know and what to look for and what to like put out there. So that was helpful, like I say.
Yeah, that's definitely a competitive advantage that you had. Being a person who have bought properties renovated, to be able to know like, hey, it's gonna probably cost this much to renovate it, so you probably need to buy it at this amount. So I probably need to get them under contract at this amount. So did the seller come out and say how much they wanted, or you had to like negotiate them down?
Well, like my wife, she did, like I said, she does the acquisition, so she's talking to the seller, and I think she hit them with I think she offered them like 130 or she's offered them like between 130, and they finally came into agreement of like 150. He said he could do 150, and then once he said he can do the 150, and I figured out that we possibly can put it on the market for like 175. I was like, go ahead and go with it. So when he did the 150, that's what I turned around and put it on the market for 175.
Oh dang. So
Oh
you bought it.
no, no, I'm sorry, I didn't buy. I was saying I meant I guess I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying he said he agreed to sell it to us for 150. So what I did was I marketed out there for
Oh, okay.
175 as far as like the assignment, market the contract out for 175.
Yeah, just
Yes,
putting it out.
yeah,
Right.
put it out for
Where
175.
did you put it at? Like, where were you putting it at?
The some of Facebook groups, mostly just Facebook groups. That's all I used at first. I used I went to that area of what it was like Greenville County, Spartanburg County, the upstate
Yeah,
area, and I just marketed assignment, direct to seller assignment for sale, and I put PP 175 because because one thing I learned, I don't know if it's how it is in Georgia, but South Carolina they got like strict rules and strict laws there, so you can't be on there like actually like posting property as like a realtor would. So you have to
yeah,
like kind of be strategic and put like PP 175. And anybody knows that means, purchase price 175, So I'm
yeah,
doing these little things and that. So I got away from that. So I did that. I kind of like, so we got that out the way. And then people were hitting me up wanting to see stuff. People like flooded me wanting to like see the property. Because of course, or when they hit me up, I'll send them. When I went to the house property, I made a video of the property. That's one thing I did. And I got to use the Zillow link. So I send them the video, fresh video and the Zillow link. So when they get on Zillow, first thing they're going to see is the 265 Zillow estimate and they see what
yeah,
I got listed for. Now they're interested. They want to go see the house. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what's up, man.
right,
So you got under contract for 150.
right.
Put it out there for 175.
Yep.
And who bid? Like, where did that first person who bid?
The first person who bid, it was some guy. I don't know where he came from, but he was like, I think he might have. I'm not sure. He seen it in an email blast or what, but he hit me up and he wanted to go by and check the property out. And real fast talker, you know how that goes. So I was like, yeah, cool. Like, me fresh, not really. So I'm like, yeah, go out here. Like, yeah. I was like, okay. He went to go see the property. I gave him the code to the lockbox. He went to go see the property, and he come back. He's like, first he's excited. He liked the property, and he start talking that stuff about. Remember I asked you about? He said something about he was like a realtor, something. Something had not been a realtor, but he was like a realtor. But it was something that was like confusing, and I didn't
Yeah,
know what it was. But I was. He was like he offered like he came in. He like offered like 170. And at the time, because he was the first one, I'm like, I'm kind of like trying to play the thing where I'm like, I don't know. I gotta talk to my partners to see if that would be work, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, so when I said that, I think that might have scared him. I think he thought I was daisy chaining when I
yeah,
said that, as if I'm like, I'm JVing this with somebody, and I need to go see if that, you know what I mean. So then he's like, because he called me back after that. He's like, hey, are you direct seller to this deal? I'm like, yeah. Why you ask that? He's like, I don't know, because you said you talk to your partner. So I'm thinking maybe you don't have the, I'm like, yeah. So like, yeah, I'm thinking. He's like, that 170. I don't know now. I'm thinking about it's gonna be more problems than I think. So I'm thinking more like he started like I think you might said like maybe like 138, and I was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I'll just find somebody else, you know what I mean? I was like, this
yeah,
property may not be for you, and I just went on. So
yeah.
then I learned from there, so like don't talk too much.
So how did you find the person that you end up selling the property to?
Property well, that was like another journey because the person I actually ended up selling to, he actually came after like some mistakes I made with these other people. Because after this person that came to see, the person that actually bought it, I had to put the property back on. Like I pretty much start all the way back over. Like I had to put it back on the market, like I did, but like put it back online again, like I did the same thing. But this time I had to put in. This time I put in must have proof of funds. Must show me proof of funds before you go see the property, and earnest money deposit is 3,000. So I put that out there before anyone came, and then that guy called me. That guy called me. He sent me the proof of funds. I saw that he had the funds. He went to go see the property. He liked the property. Now at this time, I'm crunching and getting to almost to the end. I'm like in my head, I know the least I want to take. So he comes and he knows it's listed at 175. I still got it listed one. I went back and listed it back at 175. He asked me. He said, "Am I flexible?" I was like, "Yes, I'm flexible." Because I was. I wasn't trying to. I wasn't. I'm learning this at the time. I'm not trying to make mistakes. I'm like, "Yeah, I am flexible." So he's like, he goes, "Let me go do some numbers." He came back. He's like, "Hey, what do you like? What can you do with this?" I'm like, he's like, "What can you do? What can you do?" I was like, I was like, how does 168 sound to you? I seen somebody talk like that online. It's like how does 168 sound to you? He's like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. I like, cool. I was like, I'm gonna send over. I'm gonna have Angela send over the buyer agreement and because I never say the word contract. You know, then people get scared of that word. So I say, let's send over the buyer's agreement, and then once you sign that, all that stuff, tell them all the details and all that. And that's pretty much what we did. She sent over the thing to him. He signed it right away. And then, like the next morning, he went up to, or he went to this place. So the place we use the closing is a place he always uses, and so he knew he was familiar with the process. And he went there, dropped 3,000 off, and once that happened, I knew it was like, oh, that's really real.
You're ready
So
to go.
yeah.
So how was the closing day like, especially virtually wholesaling? How was closing day? What was it like? Like, what was that process like actually getting it closed?
Closing day process, man. I can, cause like a lot of this stuff, I'm like behind the scenes. So a lot of stuff, like, cause my wife, she's like over operations, all the operations. So she's pretty much she pretty much texted me about what's going on. So she'll text me and she's like, cause before she was like, they were saying before the closing day before closing, they were saying we wasn't gonna get our check until like 2 weeks from now because of something. I don't know what it was. So I was prepared to get the check like later on. So the next day, she's like, "Oh no, they sending." She said the buyer's going at 10, the seller's going at 3. They're sending our check today. I was like, "Oh, cool." You know what I'm saying? So and I still wasn't like checked off until everything was actually done. Like everybody that did their part, and then once I was like, "Okay, boom." That's when as soon as she said that, that's when I texted you. It was like, "Bam!" Like finally did it. You know what I'm saying? So I was
Yeah,
like,
man.
"Yeah, yeah." So that's
So
kind of how that went, man.
it was an assignment.
Yeah, assignment. Assignment. I did an assignment deal. I didn't do a double close. I
So
did an
you didn't
assignment deal.
nothing. You was good. They haven't signed nothing. They haven't showed no closing, none of that. Straight assignment. And where did you get your contracts from?
I got a contract from your links that you use. The ones I don't know if you still use those same one, but the ones you use when you was putting out how to fill out the two contracts you
Oh,
use. Yeah, yeah, that's what we yeah, yeah. But the another good thing about this place that we closed at, there we even though we did an assignment deal, they were able to do it. They're
blind.
known for that. They was able to do it where they couldn't, no one could see what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like that's one thing. 'Cause, like even the buyer that bought from me, he's like, hey, yeah, this place is a good place because like they won't show. He does deals too, and he's like, they don't show me or the seller who how much you make. So I was like, cool. Even what I mean, so I was like, okay, great. We ain't gotta,
Man,
so
that's
yeah,
nice right there, man.
yeah. So
So man, that's good, man. So uh now before we get to our fast five questions, man, I'm gonna go ahead and take questions from the people on the side in the chat. They said, should we always get the earnest money? Should we always get the earnest money?
well, we don't get the earnest money, but somebody so they always have somebody send the earnest money. Yes, you should always have somebody that is serious about, but let you know that they're serious about buying because I made that mistake with the second guy that came to the property. I would have him I was showing him property. He ain't showed me no proof of funds, and I didn't have no limit on the time for the earnest money. Like yeah, I told him to put earnest money, but it didn't have no deadline. So you should always do a deadline with the earnest money, I believe.
So you need earnest money and a deadline to make
And a
sure.
deadline. That way you're not wasting time. Like, look, because most like, one thing we know, we're dealing with cash buyers. So if they're gonna buy, they're gonna buy. If they're not, they're not. And that's like it's kind of like if they're gonna buy, they're gonna buy. If they're not, they're not. They know if it's what they want to do. So you can't sit there and have them like, yeah, I'm gonna print that earnest money in like 2 weeks. You don't have 2 weeks because a lot of times with these deals, you probably got like 15 days or less, depending
Yeah,
on what you're doing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no doubt.
you don't have 2 weeks to let him like get his money together. So.
Yeah. So somebody also asked, is launch control user friendly? Is launch control user friendly?
I believe so. Yeah, I really like it. It's so a lot of people will look at it and they'll probably be like, like they don't like that price. I know that's the other stuff that may be cheaper, but I think it's user friendly. Like I said, once control got us our first actual deal. We've had other leads, but this is the one that when we got on it, like I said, we took a week or two before after getting the call to get launch control, and once we got launch control, that's when stuff started to like really. And we got your we use your template, so that's another thing. Your templates kicked in a lot, so that's another thing. If you're
Yeah,
gonna
man.
get launch control, make sure you get Byron's template. So
Yeah,
I'm
man. If
saying,
you sign up for launch show, man, let me know or just use my link Use my link. Let me know. My link is on my videos on YouTube, but use my link. If you can't get my link, hit me up on IG. I'll send you the link. Use my link. I'll send you my templates and
Yeah.
my quick replies so you can use those on Launch Control. Um, let me see what other questions we got. So Chris say, I want to see your contract. I got mine from the website. Look great, but I want to see what you're using. Uh, what I'm using right now, I'm gonna put inside of the course that I'm coming up with. What I have used, I got in a video, and it's on my YouTube. Just got to look down in the archives. So we got another question. How much money would you say someone need before they try their hand in this?
I don't think I mean, it just depends on. Well, that's a hard question. It just depends on how much you feel that you're willing to. Because at the end of the day, I had to like that was my thing. I tried this wholesale thing before 2 years ago before I bought my first deal, and it was time like me because I was making decent money driving trucks. It was like I was out there putting out bandit signs and stuff, and I was like waiting for somebody to call me like that day, and if somebody didn't call that day, I was like, man, forget this. This ain't for me because I was impatient about patient. And people were saying they were spending money on different marketing things, and I just didn't understand it. I didn't really understand none of the stuff. I didn't understand none of the stuff until I started actually watching your videos. And I started watching the people that you said that you watch. So I watched your videos and I follow everybody that you said that you follow. And I went and watched their videos like Keith Everett and all of them. And I started seeing all the stuff what they use and like how it's all structured. It's like, okay, if I can spend money on and other things that don't give me no kind of return, I can just spend money here. So whatever money you got that you can use to the side, I would say so. I mean, you can. I mean, I've heard people use low as $300 to no money to $300. I mean, you're gonna need something to like, something. But I would say, I mean, you just got to figure it out. I mean, I really can't say. I know what I was willing to do. So you just gotta be what you're willing to like lose, I guess, and
Yeah,
still be all right. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Go all in, all money in. So
yeah. So I would say there's always free ways to do stuff, but obviously the more you do it for free, the more effort, the more grind you're gonna have to put in.
right.
You got some, and it made more time.
Hmm.
Like I said, he wasn't trying to, he put the band signs out. He's like, oh, I ain't doing this no more.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, like you have to fit, you have to do what fits you and what fits your lifestyle.
Right.
Like, I was a teacher, and I was like, sure, I'm gonna put out bandit signs. I never really put them out because I didn't have time to do that. That didn't fit my lifestyle.
Right.
So do what fits your lifestyle. You can't do this with no money, but if you're serious about it and you actually want to get something done sooner than later,
Right.
you put the extra money into it, put the extra effort.
Right. Like think about what you were saying earlier on another video. I seen a video, telling the guy you was like you said, I'm doing like I can do like you saying that you can do like 4 to 5K in a month as far as you putting out there and get like 150 to 100 return. So it's kind of like would you if somebody told you you're guaranteed to like you spend 4 to 5K a month and you can make 100 or 50 or to 100, would you do it? Be like everybody be like yes if they what I mean. So it's kind of like imagine if he's spending that money to make that kind. Imagine what you can do with 4 or 500. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can, so yeah, I mean, so it's just mad. It depends on you just gotta be willing to like, I mean, it's all
Do it.
about yeah.
All right. So, do you need a real estate license to get into wholesaling?
No, no, not at all. They'll try to tell you you don't, and the people. One thing, certain places you'll be in, you'll have real estate people, some real estate agents. They don't even understand this because I ran into a couple, and they're like, "Is this illegal?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so you'll have, but you don't need a real estate license to get into wholesaling. It's yeah, you need a real estate license to, you know, do certain things, but you don't need a real estate license to do the wholesaling. It's like for people who don't want to get a real estate license.
Sean said, "Good stuff. Congratulations."
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Rolex up in here. Rolex say he in the building. Wholesaling ain't dead. It's about to go crazy. That's what's up. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the Fab Five questions, man, and get you on up out of here, man. Ain't
All
trying to
right.
take time. So, what's your favorite mindset book that helps you get started in real estate?
Fair mindset, but man, probably help me get started in real estate. I would say um the Bird book by David Green. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what did it. The Bird book took me to a whole nother level and I've used that method to, like I said, like I've said, like I said, it actually worked with the stuff in that book. As far as me trying to like skyrocket one rental to the next, instead of waiting to buy one rental and then waiting another 10 years to get the next one, that book really showed me how I can get one quicker than that. So yeah,
Gotcha. So
the
I
book.
guess your favorite mindset book.
Oh,
Next, your
you said
favorite real estate book.
oh, my
So
bad. I thought yeah, you said mindset, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That favorite real estate book would be that. But mindset book, uh man, I can't say which one got me into it because I can't remember because I read so many books. But I would say, like I said, right now I know what it is right now. Right now, it's the 10x mentor. Like right now, that's the thing that's got me really pumped. So that's the main one. But I can't remember which one because I read so many books. That's what I do. I like that's all I do in my truck. I don't listen to the radio. All I do is like read books, and listen to podcasts. So
yeah, that's
uh,
what's up, man.
yeah.
So and we'll put those below the 10x mentor and David Green's Bird.
I got one. Your next five moves by Patrick Bet David. That's one of my favorite books.
Your
That book
next
will
five.
take it.
I gotta get that one, man.
Yeah,
You gotta
next five moves by Patrick Bet David. So that's the
got
one. Yeah.
okay. Well, shoot, man. What's one thing that you bought since you started making money in real estate that you probably wouldn't have bought before?
Ah, dang. One thing
Have you
about
bought anything that you wouldn't have bought before?
um, I haven't. I haven't
Since
spent
the
any
day
money.
real before you probably ain't bought that thing.
Oh, talking about when I was doing the day round. Now that stuff I bought
Oh
since.
man,
Oh, got you. Oh
start
yeah,
making
yeah.
money in real estate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
Have you
man,
bought
shoot.
something that you wouldn't have bought before?
Oh, phew,
Or are you
man.
thinking about buying something that you wouldn't have bought before?
Uh, Let me. I would say, man, I've done. Well, I've done. I probably took trips and done things that. But I think my like I bought my car. I bought a car, but like I paid. I paid cash for it. But Dave Ramsey probably would have wanted me to pay my house off before I bought the car I bought. So
Yeah.
so yeah. But I forget that. You know what I'm saying? So that might be. It might be my car that I got. I have a '75 convertible Caprice. So
Oh,
that's yeah,
dang.
yeah. So
Old school.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what's up, man.
yeah.
Trying to get one of them one day.
Yeah,
One
man.
day. But shoot, the second to the last question I got for you, man. What separate people who are successful at real estate, specifically wholesaling, from those who fail, give up, or never get started?
Um, the ones that like, the ones that don't, the ones that keep going when they fall on their face, the ones that get right back up and keep going as if they didn't fall on their face. That's like the ones that like because those obstacles will come, they're coming, and if you can like get past those obstacles, oh man, you're gonna be straight. So that's what's gonna separate you from the ones that's gonna give up because you don't want to be that person saying you wish you would have, could have, should have, or on Facebook looking at I wish kind of feeling like why not me. You just got to go out there and do it. I mean, we all got 24 hours to do what we need to do every day. So I think that's pretty much what separates us from everybody else.
Gotcha, man. That's what I tell you too. It's like, dude, you got to be willing to go out there and just do it.
Yeah, you can't. And the main thing you can't do is you can't be because that's what gets up a lot of us. We be worried about what if we don't if we told people we're gonna do something and we don't do it the way we said we're gonna do it, we worried about what somebody's gonna think of us because we didn't do it the way we said we was gonna do it. So it's like that fear of failure. You know what I mean? That's that fear of failure, but really fear is the fear of wondering what everybody else is gonna think of us. Because failure is just like, that's just all that's just a mind thing. You can get past all that stuff and
Yeah,
grow.
no doubt, man, no doubt. Last question before we get you up out of here, and actually final question. So, Sean asked, which one do you prefer, skip trace, prop stream, or batch leads? What do you use for skip trace?
Um, I use prop stream and I use what's it called? I use prop stream to and then I guess I think I skip trace with lead shepherd, but right? Yeah. Yeah, I use prop stream to like, find leads, I guess, or find, the stuff. Yeah, get my list and then I skip trace with lead shepherd. So
Yeah,
yeah. I don't skip trace with prop stream or
good, man.
batch
I've
leads.
been using them for a long, long time. So, but man, last thing, we're gonna go ahead and get you out of here. Where can people find out more about you and connect with you?
Underscore cash flow tie on everything, and if you if you do hashtag Team Cash Flow on anything, you'll probably find me. So hashtag Team Cash Flow and underscore Cash Flow Ty on all platforms. That's me.
Man, and Ty's good, man.
Mhm.
Ty, he willing to help people. If you got trucking questions, if
Yep.
you got, real estate questions, rentals, bird, wholesaling, this man, he can help you with all of that, man. So
Yeah,
y'all
man.
go hit him up, show him some love, all that good stuff, man. Appreciate him coming through. But man, appreciate everybody coming through, checking it out. And this was a great, amazing interview, man, showing this journey, how you got your first deal, the mindset of getting the first deal, and how you can quickly put that thing together. He started in May,
Yeah.
and then the first deal closed when?
Well, it closed July 6th. So we got it like May 30th, closed July 6th. But it's 'cause, like I said, I had some bumps in the road.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
started
mistakes I made from not getting the earnest money and the proof of funds. If that wouldn't have been an issue, probably closed sooner.
Tell me you're gonna start something in May, spend like $700, make $17,000, and so
Yeah.
congratulations, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Through. Appreciate everybody else coming through. And till next time, man, y'all stay tuned. We're going to come back tomorrow with another show. If you haven't already checked out the previous shows, Cadero, was my last show, man. My guy in Tennessee that's up there crushing it. Go check that out. But, man, appreciate everybody coming through. Until next time, man. Peace out.
All right. We're gone.
What's going on, good people? This your boy Byron Scott back with Mr. Thaddeus. Mr. Thaddeus, right?
I never get that right. I never get that right.
But yeah, man, we back to talk about how or what you should be looking for out there when it comes to wholesaling. Like a lot of people get confused. It's like, how do you find these properties? How do I go about finding these properties? How do I know what properties to look for with this wholesale and real estate thing? So as you know, like I try to bring you guys questions that I get asked either through the comments or through people messaging me on IG. But people want to know, like, how do I know what to look for? How do I know what to target? Like, how do I know where I should be looking to find properties? So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what deals we doing, how we're doing, what's going on in our real estate lives and stuff like that. And, a bunch of shenanigans, So speaking of shenanigans, Stag got his haircut today by 3 Stacks, triple three, the third.
Triple three. He hooked me up. If he's watching this, I appreciate it.
Yeah, he got it faded in and out. He was so proud of the fade in and out.
I try to get it blended in.
So
I got my hair cut.
Yeah, they're getting haircuts and all that stuff. And I lost my 12 pounds. Speaking of shenanigans, I got 48 left to go. So some of y'all are here to watch me melt. So you're gonna watch me melt and make that feel bad about himself.
Feel bad, maybe, perhaps. Perhaps.
Get that into a challenge, to see, how much weight you can lose. But Thad's willing to go to extremes, to win money.
I am willing to, not eat for a couple of days, to bread and water, to win some things. Apple a day diet, But yeah, he didn't want none. He didn't want none, guys.
I ain't want none of that, man. But anyways, let's jump into it, man. Jamie Buck said, "What's up, y'all?"
What's up, Jamie Buck? What's up, man? Oh, I got the $1 million cut, man. I got the $1 million cut, man. From my house. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
3 Stacks, third, double three, triple three,
Yeah, if y'all are out here in West Georgia, I know a guy, he'll come by your house and get you right.
Get the service.
Yeah, get service.
But anyways, man, so let's get to the question, man. How can people find properties to wholesale? How do they know what to look for?